welcome to the Podnas with Face, Pat,
to the
and
Podnas,
Tiz.
show with three friends separated by distance, connected by brotherhood, having weekly conversations that you can join in on. As always, I'm 1/3 of the partners, your boy Tiz, along with
other third of the partners, the Padawan here up in 757 Virginia, and I'm also with
What's that, man? It's Face in the place, just trying to stay on pace with this race.
Right on, right on. And as you guys can see, we have a special guest in the building this week. We are talking stocks this week, so I brought in my uncle,
Uncle Kirk. So it's a pleasure being here, and I thank you gentlemen for letting me in the basement tonight.
Absolutely, man. It's genuinely our pleasure. Listeners, if you don't know, this is the where the money resides episode. We are talking stocks and how to get involved in it. Me and the fellas, we have been ourselves kind of dipping our toes in the waters here with investing. And as beginner investors, we thought we're looking at a lot of people in the world right now trying to find their way into the market. And a lot of people are just intimidated because of just lack of knowledge. So tonight we're going to try to bring some basic beginner info to you guys via Uncle Curtis, who is a longtime investor and who kind of got my mind into the stock game and kind of broke it down for me in a way that I was able to digest it. So hopefully by the end of the night show, you guys will have at least the jumping off points of how to get involved in stocks and bonds, how to not be afraid of that, kind of take some of the fear away from it, and just give you some basic tips on how you can navigate those waters. So without further ado, we had some questions lined up that we're going to ask Unc, and he's going to basically break it down in layman's terms how to kind of get involved. So Unc, if you're ready.
Fire 'em at me.
Right on. So the first question that I had, just before you even get to the point of thinking about investing, what would one person want to do to prepare themselves for investing?
Gotcha. Excellent question, especially to take away the apprehension that a lot of people have about investing. Couple things up front. You do not need a lot of money to start investing. And investing is a habit. Investing is a long-term goal. So you don't need a giant stockpile of money to start investing. You just need to remember a few rules. One is this: investing should be discretionary money. In your budgets, as we go through life, you're going to have your monthly money to keep you alive. You're going to have savings. You're going to have emergency money. But now we're going to need a fourth part, and that's going to be called your investment process of your money. And that's discretionary fund. It's discretionary because it's money that you're going to use. It's money that you're going to keep using, but it's not money you're going to put your hand on. You're just going to let that wealth grow. So that's the first one, is to know that you don't need a lot of money. You just need to start the process of investing. So one of the things you want to do is, first, you want to start either, if you have some extra money that you want to automatically start investing with, you can. If not, one of the easiest things to do is start taking a portion of your income a month, set it aside like seed money, and you're going to use that purchasing some stocks. Now, the great thing about it is you're going to start making money. And as you make more and more money, darn right going to come addictive. So you're going to start putting more and more in because you're watching your money grow. And unlike an IRA or 401, that's money you can put your hands on at any time. So the first thing you want to do is either put aside money for investing, or let's say you come into a little money, whether it's a stimulus package, whether it's a bet on the game. If you got a little money that you want to invest, put it in the market, watch it grow.
Yes, sir.
Now,
yes, sir.
A couple things about it too, and we're going to go through it, as we go on more bullet points about it. You want to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to put everything into one thing you know about. A few basic rules I like to let everybody know too. Never bet, never invest, never put money into a stock or company that you don't believe in. If you don't believe in it, don't invest in it. And the main, like anything else in life, do your homework, investigate it first, and then get the right timing up.
Right on. I heard you say when you want to make sure that you pick a stock that you personally believe in. My next question is, if I found a stock, I really believe in this product, it's something that I personally use or I'm personally, knowledgeable about. What if the share price is over what I have available to invest? For example, a stock like Tesla, where the share price is extremely high for a person that may be on a limited budget. How would I get involved maybe in that stock when the share price is at such a high point?
Gotcha. And that's one we wrestle with all the time. Tesla is a great company. They have rewarded me quite often, so I'm thankful for it. But I'm gonna give you secrets in how to invest in things that you might not think you had the money for. The first one is this: you're starting off. Just because you can't afford an $849 stock in Tesla right now doesn't mean you can't afford a $5 or $7 stock in a company that's giving you the same return on the investment. What I'm gonna teach you to do and what I want you guys to embrace is this. A lot of time, a company is great because of how much money you see people making off of it. But I want you to look at it differently. I want you to look at the return on the investment. There are a lot of companies out there under $50, under $20 that are growing and have the same return on the investment. They just don't cost as much as Tesla. So if you're not purchasing a stock for under $1,000, you're not going to see the return of it like that. But if your return on your investment is very high on a $20 investment, you're going to grow that money. And the best thing that's going to happen is I'm going to teach you that you might not be prepared for Tesla now, but you will be prepared for Tesla in the future. If my kids were here, they'd tell you I beat them down with this one. Chance favors the prepared mind. Just because you can't buy Tesla right now doesn't mean you won't buy them in a year or two when they split again. Gotcha. So you take those stocks, and I call them my dream stocks, the stocks that I want to hold, the companies I want to hold, and you label them, you put them down, and if you can't buy them now, that's fine. You will be able to buy them one day. And that's going to be even more beneficial. You're going to like that more because you waited, you were patient, you made the money in other stocks, and now you can purchase your higher stocks. And that's one of the ways I'm going to show you that you don't really need to put a lot of money in, because once you start that seed money and your investing start to grow, well, you can sell one stock and purchase a more expensive stock off of your growth on it. So that's another way of doing it. So Tesla might not be here today, but it will be in your horizon in a couple of years. Yes, and if you think about a stock, Apple, I usually don't throw off stock tips. I don't do that. I'm not a fan of it, but Apple is a company I believe in. Okay. Think about it. Since Apple went public, they have split 5 times. So since they have split 5 times, you will be able to take advantage of them over the decades. And that's how you would do with Tesla. When they split their price and it's cheaper, then you can take advantage of it then.
Did y'all have a follow-up? If not, I have one that kind of go right off of what he just said.
Go follow.
When you say split, a lot of people out there may not understand what you mean by a company splitting its price. Can you break that down a little bit for us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want people to understand the one thing I want everybody to embrace and to get is that we were never taught how to invest. Our parents did a great job of teaching us about a checkbook and how to save, but they never taught us how to invest. So it's kind of new to us. So once we get the terms and the acronyms, it's easy then. A company will take their high price, and we're going to use Tesla again. I think they closed at $849.63 last night. So what they'll do is when they want to raise money for whatever reason, research and development, maybe they want to just produce profits or go into something new, they want to make their stocks more enticing. And the cheaper a stock is, the more enticing it is for people to buy. So if a stock is $849 and you sit there and say you really like Tesla, it's a great company, ran very well, and at $849, it's out of your price range. So what Tesla do is they'll do a 5-to-1 split. So instead of the price being $849, now it's $160. Now it's $200. they can, a lot of times they'll put it under $100. So they'll split the stock price where they will give the people who already have stocks, they will just multiply the amount of stocks they have by whatever the split is. So if it's a 5-to-1 split and you have 100 shares of Tesla, you now have 500 shares. That's for the people already. But they split the price to make new investors to put it in your price range. Nothing is the same as going to Nordstrom's or Dillard's on New Year's and there's a sale. So maybe I could afford that shirt 3 months ago, but now it's 75% off. It's 50% off. It's 50% off in thought, but it's not, it doesn't change what the stock is worth. It just allows you the ability to come in and buy it. And it goes, they'll do a stock split to make the stock cheaper. And then they'll do a stock split sometimes to make the stock higher. So a stock split is a good thing because it allows a lot of people to purchase a stock they normally couldn't purchase. And the last two most famous splits recently is Apple and Tesla both split a couple months ago. And that's the perfect opportunity for a young investor to jump on it then.
Gotcha.
I've had the pleasure of buying Apple when they split 2 other times. And you will see that the stock price will go back generally to what it was. Your money will grow astronomically because the more people who buy stocks, the more your stock is worth.
Got it. So basically, if I had a stock that was worth $400 and it did a 4-to-1 split, I would now have, instead of maybe 10 stocks, I'd have 40. But when those prices went back up, I still got 40 stocks, 40 shares. But now all of those shares are basically what they were worth initially. So I've pretty much quadrupled my money by basically just holding on to those 10 shares. But because the company made that decision, it benefits me in that way. Absolutely. And then it goes into another, one of the secrets or one of the things we'll call our rules, our basement rules of investing. There's some companies you buy to hold for life, to hold for your kids. There are some companies out there, you buy stocks in them and you never plan on selling them because they're going to grow and they're going to keep growing and they're great companies and they're not going to go backwards. So those stocks you hold on to. And then there's some stocks you buy to keep for a portion of time, make money, you sell them, then you go buy other things. And then some stocks are just a little riskier than others. And then some stocks are just a mistake. The good thing about it is they make stop losses. They make, you're going to constantly watch your money. So if it's not going in the direction you think it should go in, well, you do your investing and when you start researching and you see directions that you don't want to go in, pull your money out. Unlike a 401k or a Roth IRA, you can control your money by the minute. Gotcha. Fellas?
I really don't have it. Excuse me. I really don't have any follow-ups to that because it was really on point. And I love the way you explain it because it gives me an adequate understanding of even the splits to understanding where I can understand it on any level. My first question personally is, what are the most common made mistakes by new investors coming into the stock market?
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a bunch of scars on my forehead, so I made those mistakes. And the good thing is, man, if I can do anything is learn from any mistake that I can teach anybody. One of them is this, diversify your portfolio. Everybody's good at something, or we know a lot about something. You guys have a great opportunity to make a lot of money in the market because as you understand millennials and the way things are going now, you actually can see trends in the market. Once you're going to start looking at everything in a different way going forward. And one of them is this. Say you're a gamer. You love video games. Well, you sit there and you realize which games are the best games. And then you notice that this one company, they keep producing great games. So you invest your money in those companies and you do well in them. Well, you look up in your portfolio, and what I mean by portfolio, I just mean the group of stocks you own. It's your wealth building, like a big portfolio book. When you look in your portfolio, you might have 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different gaming companies you bought into. You bought their stocks and you're doing really good in them. You gotta control yourself and be a little patient. Even though you're making good money in them, don't oversaturate yourself in one aspect, or as they call them, a sector. You can't put all your money in gaming. You can't put all your money in agriculture. You wouldn't put all your money in telecommunications. And the reason being is even though they're doing great and you're making great money, when the market does shift and you look up for a few months and the telecommunication companies aren't doing well, they were 80 and 75% of your portfolio. So you're not able to balance that off. What I'm going to teach you is to put money in different sectors, different areas. Put money in energy, put money in agriculture, put money in transportation, because the way the markets are, one is going to go up. The majority of your sectors will go up. Some will go down, but as they go down, you don't have to worry about them because your other profits balance those off to where you don't see them. The true goal that I want you three and anybody I can help to do, our true goal is this. I want you to make money when you sleep.
Yes,
when
sir.
you sleep, your investments are growing. As you close your eyes and you have great dreams, your money is making money as you sleep. So
Yeah, I want that too.
The other mistakes, that's a big one. Make sure you diversify your portfolio. Here's another one. Stock tips. Very, very rarely work out. Man, your best friend is gonna give you a stock tip. It's can't miss stock, no brain. There's no such thing as a can't miss. So you're always gonna hear me teach that any stock, I want you to believe in it. I want you to investigate it. Trust yet verify. I want you to investigate that company. I want you to read the prospectus of the sheets, and you're gonna start doing it, and you're not gonna mind doing it because it's your money. So you're gonna look at those sheets, those estimates of what a company is doing, the reports on their quarterly basis. You're gonna love looking at them because that's your money and you're investing in it, and you don't trust anybody with your money. So don't take stock. It very rarely work out. Now, if you take the tip, you believe in that company, you looked it up, you did your homework, you have verified it, that's fine. Then you invest in it. The other one is be patient. A lot like cooking. The best dishes, any good cook, whether it's my grandmama or my mama, will teach you that the best dishes are cooked slow and long. So
Yes, sir.
same way, there are no get rich schemes. I know you hear about them all the time. I'm sure somebody's going to ask me about cryptocurrency one day, but they're no good. The market is a long game. It's not a short game. So there are going to be some times that the best move is no move. Sometimes the best move in the market is to do nothing. Keep what you got, hold what you got. Then sometimes it's going to be a good idea to back down what you have in the market. So don't be afraid to adjust. Don't think just because I'm making money every day, I'm going to keep on making money. That market will turn the other way on you. There is a difference between a bull market and a bear market. And if anybody ever wondered why they pick a bull and a bear, I'll be glad to explain to you. But they're good markets and they're bad markets. Be flexible, be willing to switch up and change. So again, the biggest mistakes I would tell people do not oversaturate, diversify your portfolio. Watch out for the stock tips because I haven't seen a life where they work much. I call them urban myths. And the last one, be willing to be flexible. If the market isn't great, don't make moves. Be patient. Just because you've been making money, some people get the little itch, like almost like a gambler. I got to keep on investing. I got to keep on investing. Sometimes the best move is no move. So those are my three biggest mistakes I've seen people make.
Right on.
Any follow-ups, fellas?
I guess just for the listeners' sake, I've already kind of had them break it down for me before, but what is that? I heard you say the bull and the bear market. Just to break that down in layman's terms for the listener who may have seen those terms or seen those symbols, but not fully understood what that meant.
Gotcha. And you know that my nephew is nothing that we don't talk about. Bear market and a bull market. Sometimes, and I've seen a lot of y'all shows and I've enjoyed them. Sometimes there are a lot of secrets out there that people don't willingly give to us, that we have to kind of go get ourselves.
Yep.
And hell, I spent over 20 years in corporate America and another 10 years in management to know that acronyms, technical terms, and jargon is what most companies speak as. And when you start watching shows, like you're gonna start watching shows like Bloomberg or Money, sometimes it seems like they're talking a foreign language. And it's because they use acronyms all the time. But once you get the acronyms, you'll sit to yourself and say, why didn't they just say blah? But I don't know why they do it. When they describe a market, you have a bear market and a bull market. A bear market means that the forecast of the market doesn't look good, that the economy going forward does not look good. It looks bleak. It's not growing. And then you have a bull market that means that everything is looking up, that the market is strong. It's a great time to invest and we're making a killing. The reason they use a bear and a bull is this. When a bear fights, it swings down when it fights, because when it stands up on its two hind legs, it's so tall that its prey it has to swing down on, hence the down market. But when a bull fights, it charges full speed and it uses his head to propel up with his horns. And that's how it fights. It always lunges up and forward. So one of the old Rothschilds probably picked that as a term, that if you want to look up to a market that is strong, that's your bull fighting up. But if it's not time to invest and things are looking bad, that's your bear fighting down. So that's how they use that one. But they'll use it a lot, and then you hear it in the news all the time, and that's how they refer to the markets. So I call it their second language they use.
Right.
Okay.
So people out there, you don't have to be confused about that anymore. Now we done got a peek behind the curtain.
There we go.
I'm in my head trying to logically think, why would they call it a bear or a bull? Well, I know a bull just runs all the time, pretty much.
Yep.
Oh, before I ask any questions, y'all had any questions before me, or?
Yeah, I got one more question. All right, Curtis. So what is the easiest, or should I say safest way for someone on a budgeted income to start getting involved in the stock market?
Okay. There's so many people out there who defeat themselves at the beginning, because once you start talking money and putting money into things, our favorite phrase is, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Well, the logical and the safest way to do it is to go about it one of two ways. Either put a small amount of money aside monthly and call it your seed money. Or, as I like to say, sacrifice something else. If I don't put money into a certain thing as much, then I can have money for discretionary funds for investing. I like to call it the quarter idea. Growing up, we did kind of the 3-point idea. We saved, we had money for emergencies, and then you had your daily living expenses. You kind of cut it into 3. Well, now cut it in 4. Now I just want you to change your budget to where you save. So this is totally different from your 401k or your Roth IRA or your Coverdale plan for your kids for school, or held down to a Christmas fund. That's savings. That's long-term savings that you're putting to the side and you're hopefully not touching. But then you want an emergency fund because hell, your car gonna need tires. I got 2 kids. If you got kids, you know they're gonna need stuff forever. So emergency covers the money that you're gonna need for those things that come up. So you want to put an emergency fund up. I like to say anywhere between 2 and 3 months should be your emergency fund worth of money. Once you put that up, it's your money. Just move it to the side. Just know that's for emergency. Now, you're paying your bills every day, so that's life. But that 4th part, now you're going to put something away, whatever you are comfortable with. Because I promise you this, I don't care if you take $10 a month, $25 a month. When you see that money grow, you're going to add to it. I promise you'll come back to me 6 months later and say, you know what, I upped the amount of money I'm putting in my discretionary fund. And you should, of course you are, because it's making you money. It's making you quick money. You're growing it and it's yours. You can touch it whenever you want to. I just say, like gambling, don't take your chips off the table. You keep them on the table. You make your money. If you sell your stocks, go buy that dream stock you want and keep making more and more money. You're going to see it grow, and it's going to grow right before your eyes. And it's going to grow. This is one of the saddest things. It's going to grow a lot in times when everybody else is struggling. You just gonna have your mouth shut, like, okay, yeah, you know, people gonna be complaining. You're gonna be like, it's not that bad for everybody. So that is the safest way to do it. Just take a small portion, whatever you feel comfortable with, put it to the side. And if you don't want to take a small portion, you want to jump right in, go sacrifice something else. Take away something you're doing right now and say, for the next 3 months, I'm going to use that money for my investment. Pick which one you want to do.
That's real.
Yep.
Pat?
Yeah, I cut back on my comic books and put in some money for my stuff.
Good man. Good man.
Smart
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I when you were talking, it kind of brought up another question or whatever, and I'm so glad you put in that gamer analogy, because my brother's going to listen to this too, because we've been talking about stocks also, and he's an avid gamer. But it's a term that I've been like ever since this whole GameStop situation with the hedge funds and Reddit. It's a term that's been popping up. I've been hearing a lot, and I'm like, I feel like I'm this close to understanding it, but I'm not fully. It's not fully kicking in. It's that a short or whatever. They said that when they did it, they pulled a short, and that's how the whole GameStop situation actually pulled up. If you could explain to me what a short is, and then that would actually help.
Yes, thank you for asking that.
They use it a couple different ways. Sometimes you hear them say they shorted a stock, and then sometimes they use the term they shorted a company. Let me throw out two things that I personally don't. I won't say I don't believe in it. I'm just not gonna push people towards it. Again, I know maybe one of the listeners is gonna call about or email about cryptocurrency. There are things out there that make a buku of money in a short amount of time. But anything like that is volatile. Just like it'll make you a lot of money, it'll lose you a lot of money. So things like cryptocurrency, I would always say what I'm about to explain to you about a short, get in, get out. Shorting a company or shorting ideas is when you kind of bet on the negative. So going into the market, starting off, I want you to bet on the positive first. But you'll get some people who you'll hear them say, I make money off of losses when companies lose. The most famous 9/11, there are a lot of people who made money during 9/11 because they shorted a lot of companies that were affected at that time. So you can short a loss. Now, unfortunately, during this GameStop and Reddit, and I'll go into more details if people want me to, and it's a great thing to look up. Times like that, it's just a millionaire playing a game with a million. That's all it is. It's a new phenomenon that's happening where, always remember, another thing I'm gonna teach you is that the markets are moved by speculation. A lot of times speculation moves the market. So in GameStop idea, they used the internet and they used actual people going out and talking on the web and talking to each other to push the market price up. And it pushed up, and it pushed up so much, you would have a company like Robinhood to push back on actually letting all their investors invest in it because of the amount of growth that took so fast. Only thing I got to say about that is just be careful, because anything that volatile that makes money that quick will also lose money that quick. And unfortunately, a lot of us sometimes when we get into something, we don't think it can go away. And those things go away like this. You invest in Apple, Coca-Cola, I invest in any of those companies, and you will see that they don't go anywhere. You'll see that they don't go anywhere. So they're a safe bet, almost like a blue chip stock. But some of the other things are more volatile, especially when it's being shorted.
Got you. Thank you for explaining that, because that was definitely one of the things I was a little confused on, just like Pat. Pat, you got anybody have a follow-up off of that, or?
That was like that was definitely one of them, because I was trying to figure that out myself or whatever. And then when he said some people that bet on the negatives or bet on the bad things of like, well, they make money off a company losing, that made it click in my head. So it basically like the hedge fund people, they betted that GameStop was going down or whatever. So they put all their money into it. So being that they thought that it was going down, and then the Reddit people found out about it, they just got everybody to get up on GameStop or whatever, and it pretty much I say they lost off of that. At least that's what I'm trying to think. But the other thing, I was going to bring it up because you did say somebody's going to bring up cryptocurrency, and that person was going to be me or whatever, is like Bitcoin, there's Dogecoin, all this other cryptocurrency. Is it even safe to try invest in if you're like first time investor?
Gotcha. I would say as a first time investor that Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, other companies are coming out with other forms of cryptocurrency. I would not start off there because of the volatility.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give a great analogy, especially because cryptocurrency and short, I kind of want you to see that it kind of works out the same way. Like the reason I said back with shorting a company was a millionaire plays a game with a millionaire. Well, a lot of times group of people will inflate the price of something, make it go up, sell it, and watch it drop. When it drops, because they had so many shares, when they sold it, that price will drop. Then they can go grab it again for a cheaper price. So they're manipulating the price of the stock. So they sell it short to make money.
Mm-hmm.
They up the price, they bring down the price, and they buy it on a short sale. It's very volatile. It's legal to do, but you can. What happens is if you're not in the if you're not in the front of that line, when they do well and get out, you don't know when to get out. But that's my problem with cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is making a killing. It is a sound idea. It is a sound idea because when you think about it, the best way I like to say with cryptocurrency is that somebody in Sri Lanka should be able to get money to them, just like somebody in Alabama. Mm-hmm. And as a world, we're advanced enough that we can get money to whoever, whenever, however. So the idea is sound. The problem is it's so new. There be anything that's new, all the rules of the game ain't been worked out yet. So my only problem with it is that you can make a ton of money, but you can also lose a ton of money. And because of that, I would not sway an early investor into something like that. I would rather push you toward companies that do nothing but grow. I'm a big fan of IPOs. I like investing in IPOs because they have a greater form of growth quicker, but not as volatile as cryptocurrency or shorting any kind of stock. So that's so for a new investor, I definitely would not push them toward cryptocurrency right now. That's the game I'll play in another year or two. And it's going to be great to find out a date to remember. It's 2024. A lot of the rules have to change on it. And let me throw out a tidbit for all of your listeners, to all my brethren who have made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. Hear me and hear me well on this one. I'm going to tell you something that nobody is saying right now. Your 1040 stock, your 1040 income tax form, starting this year is going to have a little place on there that says, have you bought any virtual money? So there's a reason why they're putting that on the actual income tax form. So I'm not going to go really far into that because that's a lesson for down the road. But for all those people that I know who've made a lot of money off of cryptocurrency, just know at the end of this year, there's going to be a place on the 1040 form that says, have you made virtual money? And the only thing about that is depending on how you check that box, is depending on how legally you're answering that question.
I understand that.
So a fair warning, a lot of people out there who made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. Some people have been playing the play dumb method. I ain't make none. They're gonna start asking now. So I never heard that, but just know it's coming.
Got me scared already. As soon as you said volatility and the IRS is about to get involved, that let me know. Yeah. Let me buyer beware.
That
they're gonna take their part of anything.
I think that was.
Say that to those people we always hear about who made a big ton of money in cryptocurrency. Yeah, I wouldn't advertise that too much more going forward.
Got you. Anybody else have a follow-up before I jump in?
The IPO. What did that mean? IPO.
My personal favorite. Initial price offering.
Okay.
When a company think about favorite one, I wish Chick-fil-A would go public. Chick-fil-A is a privately owned company and they're a Christian company. I wish they would go public because they'll make you a ton of money, but they're never going to go public. I never say never in this world, but it would go against a lot of their core beliefs if they went public, because then the stockholders can demand change. And the first change they would demand is you're going to open up on Sunday because we'll make more money.
Yeah.
So what happens is a company will decide to go public. When you go public, all that means is that they have decided to let investors invest in the company. So they'll put in to get their license to go public. They will come up with an amount of shares that they might put out there. They might put out 200 million shares out there, and they'll come up with a price for that company. Well, they do a good job of going to the major companies to get it designed, but that price is a volatile price, because if you think about it, one of my favorites was Pinterest. I can't remember if Pinterest came out public at like $5, $4, and I have it. I want to say it's in the $70s or $80 right now. Companies will start off with an initial price, and all that IPO means is what it initially came out as. And then when you see what it can raise up to, that's a good way to make a lot of money. I am a huge believer in IPOs. The only warning on an IPO is just watch the company for the first couple of months to the first couple of years. One thing to not scare people about is your money, and because of your iPhone, I don't want to push the phone, but because of your phone, you can look at your account 24/7. So when you have an IPO and you invest in them, keep watching. Watch it every day. Watch the trends. And a company will grow. Facebook. I bought Facebook when it came out as an IPO. I want to say it was in the 40s. There was a big mistake with it. Dropped down to $19 a share when I bought it. And within the first month. Years and years later, you're talking about $240, $250 a share. So a company is going to grow, and depending on how you believe in that company, and that's why I told you to trust your instincts. You guys know a lot about the future. Use it to make money. If you look at a company and you know it's coming, you do a new gaming company coming out there, a new tech company, a new agriculture company, anything. I'll tell you another one. Hey, to all the people who hate me for what I'm about to say, I'm fine with it. Weed stocks have made
OGI, organic ground.
A lot of money off
Yep.
And looking at the current administration, the more the laws change, the more money you can make into it. So just know that sometimes we know a lot more that's going on than most people. So invest your money into it. When times are bad, people get high. So marijuana stocks were down a couple years ago. But like I said, with this administration, where you see more and more states legalizing marijuana, Canada produces some of the largest amounts. Those stocks are out there. They're out there for you to benefit off of.
Yes, they are. I got one that's up 500% in like the past month because it was such a low share price when I got it. It was like $1.50 a share, and now it's up to like $5 and some change.
And nephew, I'm glad you brought that up. So glad you brought that up. One thing I want to let all your listeners know and all our guests know is this. What he said is the most important thing I want people to remember. ROI, return on your investment. I want you to worry more about what percentage the company is up rather than what money you made. Because sometimes it'll fool you. You'll look at one company and say, well, shoot, I made thousands and thousands of dollars off of this company. And then you'll see another company, you say, I only made a few hundred. It's not a good company. No, sometimes that company is just worth more. The stock costs more. So if the stock costs more, when it returns its investment, you make more. But you'll look at that stock that was only $7 and it's made 500% percentage on it. I love to say this, you can't lose with winning. So if your money is making money 500% more, you keep making that money. It might not be a lot. It might only be $6, $7, but you're making 500% off that $7. You're making $35 off a share. The only problem was you didn't buy enough. Because if you think about it, if you put thousands into it instead of hundreds, you're a very happy camper that day. So I want you, when you look at your stocks, you look at the companies you want to invest in, you look at the return on its investment. From now on, everything else dealing with money, I want you guys to remember, you want to know your return on your investment on it. That's the first question you ask. What's my ROI? You think about it. As we grow, that's what we do. When we first bought our car, the first thing we asked is, how much I'm going to pay a month?
Yep.
Yeah. But when you first bought your house, the first thing you said is, what is my interest rate? You see how that knowledge grew? So now your new one is, what's the return on my investment? That's what I want you to ask on what is my ROI? That's the first ask.
I love it. I know I have a final question, but I didn't want to overstep my brothers here. Did either one of y'all have something to follow up? If not, I have another beginner investing question here.
The only other question was like, what's a good place to get, like, look up terms or, just to read up on the stocks in general, or like find literature or whatever so I can learn more about the terms, whatever.
A couple really good ones. And forgive the term name I'm about to say, but they got one called Investing for Dummies. They got one called Stocks for Dummies. I like it because they break down the term names. There are a lot of times that I didn't understand things when I would watch Bloomberg or when I would watch other things. I didn't understand what people were saying until you start learning the terms and everything. Well, okay, I got this. It makes sense. And they just had to put it in layman's terms. So if you remember the book, it was an old classic. What's that? Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yep.
Well,
I actually have that book.
Great book. Absolutely great book. One of the ones I insisted on kids reading. But now he has a Rich Dad. Excellent book because he transitions and he does a very good job of letting you see some of the ways that you can invest. So that's another good one. Start. So there are 2 or 3 great literatures out there to get. I'm a huge believer in homework. Do your homework on it. Another one too, you're gonna find yourself on the radio when you're listening to the financial channels. You're gonna get a lot of information on there. Of my favorite, I like Bloomberg because they give you an international view a little bit more. So when you start seeing what things are happening in the rest of the world, it really kind of changes your view. Data streaming, huge thing now. I was fascinated about how much people are making money in, you take countries in Africa, they can't afford what we can afford a month. However, they buy movies by the minutes or they buy movies at a time for streaming. It's a lot of money to be made there if you think about it. We all have those nightmare stories. I'll never forget, my wife suggested many, many years ago for me to buy Netflix, and I didn't do it. I thought, well, it doesn't seem like it make any sense. I mean, so look internationally. A lot of that's going on right now. You will see where everybody wants a lot of stuff that America is doing. They can't afford it, but they can afford a way of doing it. So another way for you to make money off of that. I want you to create streams of income over and over again. When you were mentioning literature, some of my favorites, there's another one on streams of income that I really want you to get. Bringing in multiple streams these days, investing is going to be your core way of making sure you can put your hands on other ways of making streams of income. So that's what I want you to start doing.
Kind of just to build off of that. So say there's a listener or viewer out there that has watched this episode, listened to this episode. They're feeling a little less apprehensive. They feel more comfortable. Like, okay, I think I'm ready to, dip my foot in the water, kind of just test the waters out, and I'm ready to buy my first stock. I heard you mention Robinhood. For a beginner investor, what would be the smartest and most user-friendly platform for an investor to use starting off? I know I personally use Robinhood, but is that the best one for a beginner? Are there ones that a beginner should look at instead that would be easier for them?
If anybody from Robinhood is out there, don't take offense when I'm about to say. My wife, huge fan of Robinhood. Many family members, big fans of Robinhood. I would always sway people toward Robinhood at the beginning because of how easy it is to sign up. They've done an excellent job of making it where they offer free stock sometimes. So they really put their platform for user friendly. Plug out there to the IPOs. Robinhood will be launching their IPO probably within the next month or so. They've already gotten approval. We just waiting for the actual date. Again, I don't give stock tips, but I'm gonna throw that out there again. Robinhood will be launching their IPO pretty soon. However, I don't have Robinhood. I go with whoever you. I have Fidelity and I have Charles Schwab. I have two different kinds. On another day's conversation, we'll discuss why you want to have sometimes multiple brokerage houses. But I like them better because of the more advanced stuff they can do for you. You know, now when you get ready, they can offer you a credit card. It pays you back cash on every purchase. To the 24-hour assistant, their platform, when you look at it, there's no such thing as I can't make a trade. You know, sometimes you hear nightmare stories and somebody said, I pushed the button, but it didn't go through. It goes through every time. They offer a lot more things for you as far as, you know, other ways to use your investments. The only knock on it is that a lot of times you have to have a certain amount of money kept in there a month. However, they offer more in savings than your bank would. So you would be smarter to move over. So my personal opinion, start off on Robinhood and then go get you some grown man insurance.
Right on. Kind of like building up.
But no on that. Like I said, it's just that the other companies will offer you a little bit more stuff. Their platform just a little bit higher end.
Got you.
But excellent start. And the great thing about Robinhood is you can start immediately. So say you see this, you get the honking, you know, you believe in the company, start just like that.
Yeah.
But then when you on a personal touch, when you decide that, you know, I think I need a little bit more personal touch now, then the other brokerage houses would be the way I would go.
Got you.
Okay. Well, you answered all my questions, but I mean, even have to ask.
Yeah, pretty much. Get it. It bring up Fidelity too, and I was the one. I don't know. I had it in my head because I've heard of it before or whatever, but it didn't kick in until you actually said it or whatever. So I'm gonna look up them once I feel more comfortable, pretty much.
So people out there,
great way to look at it. When you feel more comfortable, you into it. And again, with the Fidelity, there are gonna be other things in life that you're gonna want, whether it's a home loan, a second home loan, a beach house someplace. They're gonna have other parts they can offer you help on. And I like that part. And then again, the individual touch. If you're making money off of my money, I expect you to treat me that way. So I want to be treated well.
No, that's real. So it's basically kind of like the hotels. Like if you're kind of starting off and you're a traveler or something, you may not have enough money for anything but the Ramada Inn. But at some point, you might want to stay in the Westin or something a little more classy just for the amenities and the concierge services and stuff like that.
And then in that situation, Lord knows I done had that men on the pillow many a day. But you know, as you move up and up, you expect more from them. Then it becomes you're not doing me a favor. You know, I expect more from you. And then the more you have to put up, the more they can offer you. So I just put it that way. There's, you know, some hotels can offer you a massage and a spa, and some can offer you a checkout time. So
right on. Absolutely. Are there like any main bullet points from just you've kind of dug into a lot tonight? And I think that this is a very beautiful jumping off point for our listeners and viewers to like kind of get their wheel spinning and just kind of give them that direction that they may need to just jump on in there. Are there any main takeaways that you would sum up for our audience that they can kind of hang on to as far as like bullet points that if I didn't quite understand every single thing, these are the main points that I need to take away from this conversation?
In conclusion, I guess I would wrap up everything this way. I would go over some of the most important things we talked about. The first one would be timing. Everybody always asks, when is the best time to start investing? Well, there's no perfect time. It's like the old adage, when is the best time to plant a tree? 20 years ago. When is the second best time to plant a tree? Today. So today is the best day to get into the market. Second most important thing is create a strategic plan. Go into this with a plan, with realistic goals. Go into it knowing your budget, how much you want to invest, how much risk you want to take. Don't take on more risk than you can afford. Diversify your portfolio. Remember to start off using nothing but discretionary funds. And as your money grows, then you can make a decision on how much more you want to reinvest. Don't take your chips off the table. As you grow and grow, reinvest, create a generational wealth for you and your family to come. Most importantly, do your homework. As I like to say, I created the IVR model. IVR, investigate, validate, react. I'm going to repeat that. Investigate, validate, react. When you have done all those things, pull the trigger. The market changes. Don't look up and say shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's one of the worst things to do in life. The last thing to you friends to say is this. The stock market isn't for everybody. If you know you're the type of person who can't stomach the market going up and down, if you can't stomach losing $1 just like you can't stomach gaining $1 sometimes, stay out of the market. It's not for you. Stock market is not for everybody. However, you got other options out there. You have investment groups. You have investment clubs. They're very helpful, and something that's great about them is that it allows you to work with family members and friends. You can pool your money together. You can use the resources. You can let somebody else who is more confident govern the portfolio. So the investment groups are a great idea. It allows you to have a larger part of the market. Highly recommend those. The other thing is sometimes with the larger firms, larger brokerage accounts, you can find somebody to govern your fund. You can find fund managers. You can find advisors to help you to pick the stocks, to balance your portfolio, and it's always a great thing. So those are ideas for you out there if you don't think you're ready to navigate and to handle your own portfolio. Everything I got in my wrap up. Do want to remind you, until we talk again, do your homework. Again, there's some great literature out there. Just some reminders of you. I know I mentioned the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Grab Robert Kinsky's investment version of it. My favorite book is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Grab it. It's The Intelligent Investor. My favorite book. Start Late, Finish Rich. Another good one. For some of the acronyms and some of the terminology, grab that Investment for Dummies. A Beginner's Guide to the Stock Market is also a very good one. If you don't want to do a lot of reading, look up Warren Buffett's essays. Other great reads when you get ready to start your strategic planning. Good luck. Hopefully next time when we talk, we'll be past the start part and we can go into some other ways of helping you grow your money even more. Again, I want to thank my 3 hosts, as I like to call them, the triplets from another mother. Thank you guys for letting me talk to your guests, and hope to see you soon. See you when I see you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you again for just being gracious enough to give us your time and your expertise and just that knowledge that a lot of us out here are looking for, and we're listening to all of these stock stories on the news and on the internet. But thank you for just putting it and encapsulating it in a way that we can actually digest and actually take that and put it into application immediately. Viewers out there, feel free to drop your questions, your thoughts in the comments. This is an ongoing conversation. And Unc, I would actually like to ask you if you would be willing to maybe come back on periodically to just kind of continue our knowledge, so that, you know, now that we're jumping in there and we got viewers out there that's going to be jumping in there as we start that process, once we're in it, just to kind of continue and kind of dig more deep into some details on some of those things that you touched on that I heard you say, like, you know, we could talk about that another time. And I feel like, you know, as our knowledge grows, we want to keep on building on it. So would you be willing to like come back on and just kind of address viewer questions, or kind of just grow our knowledge base even more after this beginner process?
Absolutely. It's, you know, if there's nothing you can't ask, I wouldn't be willing to do. So I'll be on anytime you got me or want me. Just hit me up. Anybody has any questions for me, shoot it that direction. And hey, I appreciate the work you three are doing out there. Each one teach one. So I thank you guys.
Man, thank you as always, Unc. I love you.
Most
appreciate you again. Just thank you, man. You are our very first guest.
Appreciate the knowledge.
And I feel like this was the best guest that we could have on as our first time to like really just, we're all about just growing and just having people progress. You know, we got
evolving
theory, you know what I'm saying? This is a way that you can,
and financial literacy.
Absolutely. So like, this is a good way to just kind of, our past 12 episodes, if you've been listening along, this is a good way to kind of now put those thoughts and ideas into action immediately to build generational wealth for you and your family, and just have another source of income to make your lives easier. So thank you, Unc. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will be having you back on for sure.
Yes, sir. Again, I thank you guys. You guys have a good one.
Love you,
all
Unc.
right, man. Appreciate it, man.
Be good.
Yes, sir. So yeah, my people, thanks again to Uncle Curtis for coming through and just kind of dropping that knowledge on us, dropping that science.
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, man, if y'all got more questions, or y'all got comments, or y'all just got thoughts, opinions, whatever the case, feel free to drop them in the comment section on whatever platform you're listening or watching on, man. Like, we want this conversation to continue, because I think it's really important. Like we said a few episodes ago, like, we have to become more financially literate and just more aware of what our options are here to build wealth. A lot of the avenues that we might think are closed are not necessarily closed. So, you know what I mean? Thanks again, Uncle Kurt. And yeah, man, I really appreciated that. That made my spirit feel good to have that conversation there, man.
Definitely.
Now, on to our normal, non-sensory and social critiques, man. Pat, what you got up first, dog?
Oh, man. It's time for the good and the fuckery, y'all. This is good and the fuckery. All right. All right. So I just wanted to start off with some light, because I know we're going to get serious. And, you know, when we get serious, I like to put in some lighthearted topics in here. But first things first. Oh, yeah. All right. We're gonna start off with the good, right? This is all we're gonna call this part of it the vision segment of the good and fuckery. All right, so I watched WandaVision. WandaVision for the first time, and I mean, I dig it because they did it based off of like a comic book they did with Wanda and Vision as a family or whatever, and it's great. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but it's great because it seemed like every episode they go through a different decade of like TV media. Like they start off with on the first episode, they start off with a black and white TV show. Then the next one, like in the 60s, then they go to like a 70s TV show or whatever. And then like the last one, it was like an 80s TV show. And man, that last episode, that fifth episode, man, it had some twist into it. But I'm just saying that it started off slow for an action junkie such as myself or whatever. But the more I'm not even gonna lie, I wanted to like get right to the point. Straight up, like skip some
Right.
episodes, go straight to the point. But I went through, binged every last one of them, and like it was a great build up, pretty much.
Slow burn,
build-up.
but worth the
Yeah.
patience. Gotcha.
Slow, definitely a slow burn. And you know, sometimes and I do a slow burn and then I stand up or whatever, then it hits me right in the head. That's a whole nother subject.
Got you.
Okay.
All right. That's the good. That's the good vision. All right. The bad vision. The fuckery vision. Little Uzi vision.
Dabbing head boy.
Right.
Boy put an infinity stone on the top, right there on his head. I seen a meme. They put Uzi Vert on Vision's face. They put Uzi Vert's face on Vision's face right when Thanos was grabbing it right off his head.
Oh God!
Like, next time I see Uzi Vert with no security, I'm
hell nah.
I'm so weak. All right, next. GF, good and fuckery. So Gorilla Glue, the company, actually delivered a statement to Gorilla Glue Girl. If
you're not sure about Gorilla Glue Girl, go ahead back to our you didn't ask us but show. It
is awesome. It's awesome.
Lord.
But they issued a statement saying, hey, we put this on our labels not to do this or ingest this or whatever. That's the good. The fuckery is Gorilla Glue Girl is still going to try to sue for Gorilla Glue for false advertisement because it says nothing. It don't say anything about hair on it.
But what is underneath your hair? Skin. Your scalp is skin. Genius.
Genius.
Does she realize it does say
it's common sense?
Extra strong adhesive on there somewhere? Like you know what it's doing.
15 times.
Permanent.
Yo, folks out, man, I don't even know. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Her best bet will be to try to sue the store.
Yeah.
If anything.
Yeah.
Your best bet is to try to sue the store and say somebody misstocked it, and that's why you bought it right there. That's your best bet.
Better learn for face.
Your best bet is to go back to school.
Because at the end of the day, shit.
Face right. All right. My next GF. Tiz, you actually brought this up in the group chat, actually. The Super Bowl unity vibe of the commercials. That's actually the fuckery. I actually came with the fuckery first this time. But it just, as Tiz was saying, it felt like a lot of pandering.
Yeah.
Just a whole lot of pandering.
Yes. Where were you when this shit was really jumping off? Like, why are you so late to the party? Like, don't try to I hate that bandwagon shit.
We know nobody late to the party because now it's profitable. Just like we were talking about, it's a stock move now.
Yeah,
pretty much. It's an investment move now.
They shorted us at first. Didn't think we were gonna profit, but now we on top and they want to make profit with us. So they want to buy more stock and they want to buy more stock in black. So that's all it is. And you want to buy more stock in black, buy black.
Facts.
So, and what they did to so they can understand the black stock, if you sort of speak or whatever, they hired Jay-Z last year. And I believe I saw pretty much an article saying that because of Jay-Z, this is why you're seeing all this pretty much. Like just the reason why you have the weekend for the halftime show. That's the reason why you see more black faces or whatever. That's the reason why you may see that black boy running through the whole world or whatever to get to the Super Bowl or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
I hadn't even made that connection.
Yeah, so that's what you made that connection. You know how Jay moves, man. He'll say he do something, you forget about it because he moves in silence, and then you'll see the end result, but he's not gonna, straight up say it in front of everyone.
Yeah, that was me. Oh,
it's
your
boy. Brady, I got you.
Hell no.
All right. So I'm ending off the good and the fuckery with one good thing. And I don't know if y'all know of her, but the representative of Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she has been, as punishment, because she believes in a lot of batshit crazy QAnon conspiracy theories. She has been relieved of a lot of her
Amen.
duties.
Hey,
As well she should.
That was the
I
good.
like
Be
that.
that incompetent.
Let
I
me
like that.
now for the fuckery. I'm going to say some of the remarks that have led to this situation, and so y'all know how batshit crazy she is, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, let me scroll right through. All right, so she said in the Las Vegas mass shooting, in 2017, that it was staged. This is a literal quote. How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns and go along with the anti-gun legislation? You make them scared, you make them victims, and you change their mindset, and then possibly you can pass an anti-gun legislation. Is that what happened in Las Vegas?
No.
I don't believe Paddock pulled this off all by himself. I know most of you don't either. That's what Greene said. Yeah.
Some
no,
people should not put their opinions out there, or like, how you gonna back that up? I'm all about free speech and speak your speech, but don't say something that just like you have no factual basis for. Like, there's nothing. Jesus Christ.
And she makes laws, people. She makes laws in your state, Tiz.
Man, don't be politically correct.
Hey man, look, my state is
Just don't
Virginia.
say
I
no dumb
live in
shit.
Georgia, but I'm from Virginia. Don't put that on me, champ. Don't do that to me. Like that.
I'm just saying, be wary of the place you live at, man. Just that's all. Because this lady also, here's the next one. In 2018, poorly maintained electrical grid sparked a California wildfire that killed 84 people. In a Facebook post in November of that year, Greene falsely speculated that the darker forces were at work.
Like demons?
She do believe in that QAnon theory that the deep state is controlled by satanic forces or whatever. But let's get into it. She said connecting a series of scatter points, right? She suggested that bank controlled by the Rothschild family, who are Jewish, a utility company was responsible for the fire, and then Governor Jerry Brown had a compelling motive to spark the blaze, clearing the path for a high-speed rail project Brown wanted. She also floated that the possibility that the fires could have been started by lasers or blue beams of light shot down from space by allies of Brown who were said to be in the solar energy industry. In other words, Jewish space lasers. Jewish space lasers. That's what she said. Yeah, batshit crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with this lady, man?
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
Why people always
That's
blaming
more than
everything
crazy.
on the
You spend
Jews?
too much time with her.
Like, what they got to do with space lasers? Like that. Man, this lady done watched too much sci-fi.
It's the Jews and the niggas. The Jews and the niggas. The Jews and niggas. The Jews and the niggas.
Like what?
And
Why
the
would
Muslims.
you? I don't understand. Like that don't. Oh, this is why it's so important to have like some type of like.
You know, it's always them goddamn niggers and them goddamn Jews. You niggers and Jews. You know, niggers and Jews.
Intellectual aptitude is needed in this country, man. Like, I'm down to have any conversation, but we got to stop giving fools platforms to just speak. Like, and what I mean by fools is people like you might not be book smart, but if you're making a point, have a leg to stand on, people. Like, at least have some type of something with it. Don't just be throwing out weird ass.
They do it, man, for the. Man. And you said niggas and Jews, also Muslims. Also, what we about to say?
Has some common sense. These motherfuckers need hobbies these days, nigga. Like motherfuckers got too much time in this computer. You feel me?
Yes.
People get on the computer and they got nothing to do with. I think this, motherfucker. Just because you think that shit don't mean nothing. Do you have factual proof to put two and two together? No. So shut the fuck up before you have somebody doing some random shit because they listening to you and you in a position of power. Once again, we have a dumbass in a position of power saying some dumbass shit. We're gonna have some other dumbass people following that dumbass shit. Come on now. When does the dumbass shit stop?
When people
Really?
start actually taking the step to have some type of factual basis
When
behind
do
their
these
opinions
people
and
in
stop
power?
just
Exactly.
boogeymen and weird
Like
shit. Like,
a
come on,
pen.
people.
It all boils down to my new T-shirt I'm about to put out this weekend. Opinions and assholes, man. Opinions and assholes. Everybody has them, but most no one wants to see or smell. Opinions and assholes.
That's a very good point there.
Some people are assholes. So
Indeed.
like this lady, or whatever. She
my
said
God.
that
Exactly.
she said Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and Rashida, I'm probably gonna butcher her name, but Rashida Tlaib of Michigan weren't really official members of Congress because they didn't take the oath on the Bible because they were both Muslim.
I'm tired of senators and other government officials that don't know the actual fucking Constitution. There's nowhere in the Constitution or any other bylaws that say you have to take any oath on the Bible because the Constitution was not founded on religious principles. It was a secular document, and they made it as such because of the religious oppression that they supposedly were fleeing in Europe. So,
exactly. It's
you're
a
not making
separation
sense
between
here.
church and state.
Correct. Like, so, like,
Don't they remember
like you
it's a
can
separation
take
between
the
church
oath.
and state? So
You can take the oath for president on a fucking dictionary if that's what you want to use. Like, it's a tradition that people have used the Bible just because most of the elected officials over time have been Christian, but that doesn't mean that that's a qualification or nothing. Like,
these people in power have no knowledge. Like, where's the basic elementary school knowledge that people are taught? That's
because of nepotism, man. We got
grade.
a nation ran by C and D students, man, instead of A and B students because, you know, I'm hook my cousin up or my home girl up or my homeboy up to make sure that they get into political power. But it's no vetting, man. There's no real.
A nation ran by hookups.
Yep.
Basically, I got a hookup
to dummies. Yes.
Might as well vote Master P in, which I would. I would compared to
he's a black entrepreneur making moves.
Yeah, he do what he.
At this point, man, at least he's
been doing.
If he say he gonna do something, he does it. He say he gonna make a shoe.
Exactly.
He got integrity on that as far as like his business acumen. He knows business, and I wouldn't. He can't do no worse than some of these other dummies that's running the country.
And rap snacks ain't that bad.
No, they're pretty decent.
Yeah.
And speaking of dummies, we got my weekly Umar update. To this week's Umar update is a little bit different. For one, Umar hasn't really done much outside of a live video he did day before yesterday, where he was basically talking about special education again, basically giving the same. If you've heard him talk about special education before, it's the same. He just regurgitated the exact same points he always made. Which I'll be honest, many of them were not incorrect. It's like, what is this? Like we've heard this before. There's no new information here. And you're still not willing to talk about the school, which is what most people are actually looking for. So I'm kind of going to take my Umar update a little different this week. In the Umar sector, which is, I guess, what they call like the group of people who make videos for and against Umar or et cetera. You have a couple of people that have had some weird, I don't know what you want to call it, a YouTube beef or what, but so I told y'all about Shakim Ra, who was in the paperwork for Umar's lawsuit. I told y'all about him last week. He got the Amin Ra University and all of that. Well, him and another YouTuber, Lennon Anna, who makes videos about Umar's scams and that type of thing, they've been kind of going back and forth. Shakim Ra supports Umar, Lennon Anna does not. And it basically has gotten to the point where Shakim Ra doxed Lennon Anna and kind of put out a lot of his personal information, showed this man's house, etc. Basically was making fun of him, I guess, because the house or whatever, the picture of the house that they showed, it was a little run down and whatnot. So I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I then saw a dude named CD Fury. He usually puts out like videos about conspiracy people or people who have been kind of like charlatans in the community, but now he titled his video Shakim Ram versus Lennon Anna, and he was basically coming in to under the auspices that he was trying to bring them together. But basically it ended up turning into him and Shakim Ra arguing with arguing with people who are against Umar, and basically just trying to like demean Lennon Honor as a man. And watching this kind of back and forth has kind of just, I heard a lot of different things going around, and they were calling Shakim Ra was calling people were calling Shakim Ra a hater on Lennon Honor, and they were calling Lennon a hater on Umar, and basically their conversation kind of sparked me into these thoughts around just, I want to kind of break down, I'm a person that believes that words have meaning and we got to stop placing false meanings on words. So I want to kind of give my thoughts from this perspective. First, hating versus honest criticism. Hating is when you are criticizing or putting down somebody out of jealousy. It comes from the term player hating, which is when you see somebody who is very affluent with the women, or they get a lot of ladies, and you go out of your way to demean them or do something to prevent them or make them look bad so that you feel better because they're getting all of the girls that you want. That's where it originates from. And basically it comes from a place of jealousy. We got to stop calling people haters because they call out something and they have an honest critique of something. I watched pretty much every Lennon Honor video he's done on Umar. I've also took the time to watch his videos that he hasn't done on Umar. What I'm seeing Lennon Honor do, and most people do, now you have a sect out there that's just, they're trolling, you can tell that they are latching on to Umar's name or whatever just to get clout or views or whatever, because when you look at their page, it's nothing. Like the first video they do is Umar, and every other video is Umar. So you could tell that they're not maybe genuinely coming with honest critique. They're more just trying to capitalize off it, and they're pretty much hating on that man because they see a way to make themselves some money. That would be hating to me. If you're honestly criticizing something and you have factual evidence and you're doing this from a place of not trying to demean the person as a person, but calling out critiques to their public behaviors or actions. To me, there's a huge distinction, and we got to start making it in this YouTube world before it goes like off the rails, because to me, I see it, somebody's going to end up getting hurt behind like this hating. Levy honest criticisms. Like, we open up our comment section to anybody and everybody. We don't block comments. We don't delete comments. We've had people that support us. We've also had people that have levied honest criticism. Like, they might have put the word yawn. Okay, to me, I look at it as an honest criticism. If you were bored and you were the one person bored, let me look into that show, see what we might have done that may have lost you. But I don't take it as you're hating, because you're not saying anything about me as a man. You're critiquing my public act or behavior that I'm putting out there for critique. That's what we do on YouTube. Whoever you are, no matter what your content is, you're doing it for attention, like we've said before. So once you get that attention, be open to the criticism. But what we should not be doing is, like, I'm watching a lot of people in general, and it's not just in the Umar sector, it's across the board on the internet, where people are like literally hating on people. Criticize something, yes. Like the Danny Lay and the baby situation, they broke up, and I saw a million people on Twitter like praising the fact that these people broke up, not criticizing her song, which may have been offensive to them, but they used the fact that they didn't like her song Yellowbone as a like a launching point to then go in on a personal attack on this young lady because her and a man broke up. I ain't got nothing to do with your personal business unless you're putting it out there. Like, if y'all broke up, cool, that's your business. Got it. But I don't need to then celebrate that, because where's the criticism? What are you criticizing at that point? You're just taking joy in somebody's pain. I don't get that. Doxing somebody like Shakim Ra did, where you're putting on somebody's personal family and their home and their personal information and stuff. Like, if there's a different. Like, yeah, like I can see you putting out tax information on a school entity. But I'm not even cool with people, to be honest. Like, it's in the lawsuit, so I spoke on it, but I'm not necessarily cool with people like digging into like Umar's personal, like where he lives ain't none of my business. I'm gonna laugh at it if he turned that camera around and it's dirty. That's funny. But I'm not gonna wherever he chooses to live is his business, and it ain't for my place to sit there and dig up that information. He showed that so it was available, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to go find this man's address and look at his house and then display that on the internet for everybody else, which opens him up to random people coming up trying to hurt him. Like that's I feel like that takes it to a different place, and it's getting ugly out here. It's just not cool. And the second thing I was thinking, I heard a lot of them talking about in this chat was scamming, as far as Umar taking donations in for this school that he's promised and not delivering on that. And they were equating it to people like Lennon Honor who are making money off of super chats and monetizing their YouTube channel or getting brand deals, et cetera, et cetera. People who make content on YouTube, you run a very, very, very risky line when you start calling other YouTubers scammers for getting donations for their YouTube content. That is a product or a service they are rendering, and all their supporters are doing are giving them money for that product and service. It's tangible. You can see it. Their supporters usually have some type of say-so because they're a member or they're donating so much where the person who's the creator kind of takes their input in a little bit when they're creating their content. So like there's a give and take there. There's both parties are receiving something in the process. I want to make it clear that when we're talking about scamming, we're talking about somebody who is promising a service or product for a amount of money and then not delivering that product or service. It's like if I say
when you get that money,
right? Like with Umar's situation, I want to be clear to Umar supporters. The reason he is getting criticism is not because of his rhetoric necessarily. Like most people, if they don't like what he has to say, they'll just turn him off. He is receiving criticism because he's promised the school since 2009. And he's taken donations for such, and he's committed very tangible like crimes there. Like he's a charitable organization. He's registered as a charitable organization and is underreporting taxes and not being transparent financially with the people who have donated. I'm not talking about somebody who out in West Bubblefuck and they just started making videos on Umar, but they've never supported, they've never donated. I'm talking about people who have actually taken the time and their hard-earned money, whatever it is, to donate. He says he's going to give financial transparency for that donation, and then they never receive it. Froster signed up for the Loyal Donors Program. He never let him into the WhatsApp group as promised, and he's still saying that he's going to do that, but he never got in. And there's a bunch of other people out there who have given their money, myself included, that never received basic financial transparency. I don't have to know that like a detailed itemized description of I bought this amount of nails, but I should, as a person who has invested into this charitable organization, I should have a basic outline of this is where the funds have went. This is the timeline for this money to be spent, etc. That's what you can get from any charitable organization. Like that's just part of what their registration requires them to do. Umar hasn't done that. That's why he's getting criticism. Umar's getting criticism because he's displaying a school that constantly looks like none of the work that he's taken donations for has been done to said school. And he's continuously pushed the date for that school back without giving any of the people who've donated the basic services that he promised. If he doesn't promise these things, there's no scam there. Because then you just have people donating because they believe in whatever his rhetoric is or whatever his speeches are. That's fine. But don't have people paying for a book and they get back a document that is not cited, not peer-reviewed, and you're calling it a scholarly journal, and then half the book is notes pages. That's a scam. You are getting over on the investor because you're not following through on what they paid for. Like Uncle said earlier, return on investment. There is no return on this investment. That's where it's a scam. YouTubers, if you're going to criticize another YouTuber and say that they're scamming because they're receiving donations for their content, that's exactly what the money is. That's why people are giving the money, because they appreciate the content and they want to see more of it. What happens when your channel gets monetized? What happens when you are having a live and people are giving you super chats? Are you then a scammer? Like, we got to be careful that, like, when we are small time and we have not reached the level of maybe a bigger content creator, we got to be careful about calling them a scammer for doing the same thing that we are trying to grow our channels to be one day. Mm-hmm. I really just want to
be a hypocrite.
Yes, that crab in a barrel mentality of I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna try to tear you down so I can get there. Like, There's plenty of YouTubers that I don't agree with their content. I choose not to watch, and I don't donate to that content because that product I don't want to buy. Just like when I go to the store, I like certain brands of chips. I don't like others. So I buy the ones I like and leave the other ones on the shelf. Somebody who likes those will go support that. If you are an Umar supporter and you're donating for the fact of you want to hear him speak more, he does that. He delivers on speeches. I would say that he speaks regularly. Cool, support that. You believe in his message and you just feel good about it. Cool, support that. He's giving you a tangible return there. But don't tell me that's not a scam if you're promising a school and the school never happens. And when anyone asks you about it, you not only don't give any answers, you get angry and then launch ad hominem attacks. This is where the criticisms are coming from. These are legit criticisms, not a hating thing. Like nobody's jealous of Umar. Like if anything, most people that I've come into contact with in this sector have no issue with him speaking his speech or talking whatever. It's everybody I've seen's issue is his lack of follow through on the tangible products that he is promoting and then taking money for it and not giving. So I just kind of wanted to just give that PSA to the Umar sector in specific, because I see a lot of that where they're tearing each other down. And regardless of which side of the fence you stand on, whether you believe in Umar school and you think it's going to happen, whether you believe it's a scam like I do and you don't think it's ever going to happen, you think he's ripping people off for their money, levy those honest criticisms without demeaning the person as a man or as a woman. Like those ad hominem ways of, well, you're a scammer. That's an attack on somebody. And that's a heavy, like you need to have a burden of proof if you're going to call somebody a scammer. What exactly are they doing that they're not following through on after taking the money? Because I can't see it from most of the people. No matter who I've heard say it, whether I've heard a Umar supporter saying that about a detractor, or whether I've heard a detractor of Umar's saying that about somebody who makes videos in support of Umar. They're all trying to build their content. They're all making content on a platform where they're trying to eventually get money, or they are currently earning money from it. How is any one of those different than the other? Y'all are both making content and people are paying you for said content. That's what we're here for. That's why we're doing what we do. So we got to get out of that mentality. I just wanted to put that out there. It's been like, it really bothered me to see that. Like, I can deal with anything else, and I'm going to keep on supporting Lennon Honor personally because I enjoy his content. It's enjoyable. It's fun. I enjoy the community that's built in his, like, that's what I choose to do, and I'm going to keep supporting it. If you enjoy Shakim Ra or CD Fury or anybody else that goes against that, support them. Give your money to that content if that's what's feeding you. But don't call each other scammers, because YouTube creators, we're not scamming. We're providing tangible products. Now, if you have a school that is not delivering on its promise, Amin-Ra University, then that's when the scam comes in and people can levy those direct and tangible criticisms at you. That makes sense about that. But let's not go into people's personal lives. I don't want to see anybody go into Shakim Ra's personal life and draw his personal business. Like, criticize the product that he scammed you on. Criticize that, but don't criticize him for whatever else if he hasn't put that out there. Now, if he puts a certain image out there or a message out there, then cool. You're a public figure. Like if I'm out here saying, hey, be a great father, and then I'm also putting out information that directly contradicts that. I'm telling you, hey, I've never seen my son, or I'm never with my child. Criticize it. I'm putting it out there. But don't like go into somebody's personal life to find it. Like, every criticism I've personally heard of Umar has been directly related to a video or a conversation that he's put out into the public arena for public consumption. So it's fair. It's fair use. It's fair game. But let's not start going into doxing people and like looking up shit about people and putting people's houses online and stuff, because that's when it becomes dangerous. Somebody's going to get killed behind this because you're going to have some crazy nut that goes to somebody's house and like, I hate them. And they're going to be mentally unstable and they're going to try to hurt that person. And then that's when it goes up too far. And then everybody's going to be looking like, oh man, I feel so bad. But like, let's not get to that point. That's all I had to say on it, guys.
If you make YouTube content and you you're telling someone that another YouTuber is a scammer and you also receive money for content also, then don't that make you a scammer also?
That's my point. Like, how are you going to criticize that and you're doing it?
You want to make money.
It's like me saying, I hate people that use
This is my
Zoom
thing.
as we sit here on Zoom. Like, what?
This is my thing. It's one thing when it comes to we just Jones and we joking back and forth. Hi, joking. But when you take this step to display my personal information or my home, then you come into my favorite amendment, my second.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
then you violate my safety and the safety of my family.
Exactly.
And I believe all men have the same mindset I have when it comes to protecting their family. They would do any and everything to protect their family.
Damn right.
So when it comes to that level of hate, I guess, or trolling, whatever people call it these days, that's taking it too far. You want us to talk about somebody's appearance? Go ahead. Everyone can see that. That's your personal appearance of how the person looks. That's your opinion. Everyone's opinions and assholes. Once again, opinions and assholes. But it's a fine line you walk between criticism and hate. Make sure you're criticizing with an open mind, not a narrow opinion. But when you hate, everything is always going to be narrow because all you see is negativity from someone else's positivity, because their positivity is killing something inside you. You always have that sick stomach face that it's just some like
what Cat Williams called it. What is it? The gas face or something?
Yeah.
Like if you gotta have that face just about the presence of the presence of someone, it ain't that person, it's you. Once again, be self-aware. Look in the mirror. See what's wrong on your end. Why are you hating that person so much? What inside of you is making you just to have so much disdain for that person? Once you're aware of it, then you can do what you need to do with it. It all boils down to smell. Once again,
Smell yourself,
I'm always going to draw it back to that because
smell yourself.
You got to be self-aware before you can motivate yourself. Because if you're hating on somebody else and their progress, you haven't motivated yourself to get on your own plane to make your own progress. Get your shit up, man. Shit.
Yep.
I think
anybody who talk about Umar, most people like I like the rhetoric. Cool, it's regurgitated over and over again on an educated platform because he knows how to articulate. Cool, and he draws followers because he knows how to articulate.
Yeah.
But don't just follow somebody because they can articulate. Follow someone because they have substance and they're about something. Follow them in totality. Don't follow me halfway. Follow me all the way. If you're gonna look at our content and be like, I fuck with them, fuck with us for everything we do. You feel me? Like we got more than just the podcast. We got the podcast, we got the stores, we got the live shows, we got everything. Fuck with us all together. If you're gonna fuck with Umar, don't fuck with the rhetoric. Look into the schools too. Look into the lack of effort. It's in 2009. 2021.
Exactly.
A continuous promise with continuous funds being coming in from your donors, and you don't want any federal help, so you're only getting money from your donors, but you don't want to tell anyone what's the progress of this school where the donations are supposedly going to. That's the only critique. You can look back on any of our podcast shows, and we'll continue to say we have nothing to say against nothing his rhetoric about Black people.
Nope.
Like you have a good basis. We do need change. We all know that. We all speak on that. You speak on a different level because you know how to articulate. But when it comes to your business dealings, that was the issue comes in. So that's not hate. Because we have honest questions. We're looking for honest answers on your business dealings because you're a charitable donation. You're a charitable organization, excuse me. So just like I would question any other charitable organization who is requesting donations, I'm questioning him too. That's
exactly. And I'll leave off here as far as this, and then I'll just open it up and let y'all run with it, whatever. For me, and closing on just the Umar thing for this week, for one, critical thinking, guys.
Yes.
We have to open up ourselves to critique and everything. Like, even with Lynn and Anna, I didn't just stop at the first Umar video because that was the first thing I saw from him. I went back in the backlogs and saw what else was this man talking about. Like why does his opinion even resonate with me? Why should I care about his opinion? Is it worth my time? Does it really like when I use my logic and I break down fact, does it line up? Because again, I entered the Umar sector from a point of view of a person who has supported. I had donated before. I honestly believed in the school. Like I still to this day think the school itself as an idea is a great idea. It's just also like be honest with yourself. Don't ever get up into that cult mentality, guys, where you are following somebody blindly. I don't want my son following me blindly. Like I tell him all the time, follow directions. But if a direction makes you feel uncomfortable or you don't feel that you feel it's going to harm you, be willing to speak back as long as you have evidence. If I say, hey, son, you didn't clean up this, whatever. And he said, well, yeah, I did, Dad. I don't immediately jump down his throat and say, well, no, you didn't, because I said, no. If you can logically give me the evidence, well, I did this, this, and this, cool. Because everybody can be wrong. Everybody can miss something. It's always a detail you can miss. So critically think, guys. Like, don't just take everything at face value, whether it's something you support or whether it's something that you have heard negative things about. Like, before I made an opinion on Shaquem Ra last week, as soon as I saw his name in the docket, I went back and I started watching his videos to see, okay, like, does this line up with what I'm seeing? Let me go online and do some research. Do I see any scam? Like, are these real scam requests or is somebody just saying this about him? Like, do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just take a headline or a tagline for a video or somebody's YouTube video, even ours, at face value. Go back and research it. Go back and look at it for yourself. Make your own opinion. And then if that opinion that you form, if that information that or thought that you formulate out of your research matches that person, then go rock with it. But if it doesn't, be willing to say, you know what, this ain't adding up and I'm not gonna rock with that. Like, we got to get out of that blind follow mentality. So critically think. 2, we got to get out of the thing of like, where we can't have a civil discourse or disagree with others without going personal. I can disagree on sports all day. I ain't got to call somebody a bitch to do that. I ain't got to call somebody out of their name to do that. I ain't got to go into, well, you don't do this at your house. And I saw your dishes were dirty all the time. And like, what does that have to do with what we arguing about is Tom Brady to go? That ain't got nothing to do with your dishes. Like, stay on topic with an argument. The first thing, my grandpa used to say, like, one of the quickest ways to tell a fool is because they go personal. They get off of the topic. They can't stay on what you're actually discussing. They want to go all over here because it's a way to divert and make them feel like they're winning the argument. You might be able to out roast me, but debate me. If you can out debate me, now we talking. If you can even just go back and forth with me and I better understand your point, even if I disagree, and you better understand mine, even if I disagree, cool. But civil discourse has to be a part of our society again, guys. And then lastly, like, use words for, like, stop using words that don't mean what you're actually talking about. Stop calling somebody a scammer when what you actually mean is they're getting donations and you mad because your channel is not blown up to get those same donations. Stop using the term hating because somebody criticized something that you did that might have had a flaw.
I got my feelings on that.
We can't keep using these words that don't mean what they actually mean. Like, there's dictionaries for a reason. There's encyclopedias for a reason. If you're not quite sure if the word that you're using is appropriate, go look up the definition. We have smart.
Use the right damn word. That's
it. Like, we got, like, I feel like those 3 things are the biggest things that keeps us back as a human race, as a society in general. Like, we could spend less time beefing if we had intellectual discourse and honest debate where we can disagree or agree to disagree. And speaking of that, I just want to shout out somebody real quick. JLM, I talked about him before, the smoke god. I like what he does on his platform because he doesn't agree with Umar scamming, but he has a very unbiased view. He still believes in the school itself, even if he don't necessarily think Umar might be the best person to run it. He's able to bring people on his platform that vehemently disagree with everything Umar stands for and still bring them together with other people who may be full supporters of Umar. And he's able to navigate that and have them be able to talk without going off the rails. And I respect those type of platforms. Like, we got to have more of this honest dialogue where we can disagree and progress our thoughts forward, where everybody comes out on the other side more intelligent, more aware, and just more connected than disconnected. But that's all I got for this week's Umar update. Y'all can take it from there. And
Can we kill the hater word, the term hater? Because it's just like, seriously, like, hater, that's one of the words, just like nigger, just like bitch, just like every other like 4-letter word or term that people go to when they don't have nothing else.
Yes.
That's it.
It's the tool of being inept in an argument. Oh, I ain't got else to say. You a hater.
If you call me a hater, I'm gonna just think you're stupid. That's it. You don't got nothing else to come at me with. And unlike Tiz, I can still roast you. Tiz is lying. He can actually roast you. He just chooses not to because he feels that he's better than that. No, I don't feel like I'm better than that. I'm going to roast you.
I'm going to talk shit about you in a personal way, which is why I try not to get into those things, because I know me. I was one of them growing up. I wasn't really good at roasting. I was good at, oh yeah, well you got roaches at your house.
I wasn't good at roasting until I got tired of it.
Oh yeah, you don't know your daddy though. Your mama don't love you. Like I hit you where it hurt, and because of that, it's more of not that I think I'm better than that. It's just more like I don't want to inflict that pain on people, because I realize that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not talking from a place of like I ain't never done it before. I get that mentality of I'm gonna hit you where it hurt because I'm mad at you. I'd rather had a dialogue with somebody these days, because I know where that's gonna go, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know where it's gonna go. Somebody's gonna get pissed and get mad to the point where now you've offended them as a man, and now it's gonna become past a YouTube conversation. It's gonna become somebody getting hurt, and I don't want to see that. Like, it's enough of it. We done hurt ourselves.
I ain't get pissed. I'll be one. I'll roast you. I draw for it. I will look at you. I will look at you and look at everything about you, because that's how my mind is set. I look at stuff until I know how to actually go on the paper and draw it. So I'm gonna look at everything about you. You got that the skid mark of Buddha on the top of your head? I'm getting you. I'm getting you, you fake 21 Savage. I am getting you today. All right, I'm done, y'all. Y'all can go ahead back at it. Can't really tell from a distance, but hey, make good music.
Oh man. So all right, I'm gonna take it to a different page. So we coming up on Valentine's Day this weekend, and some people gonna be staying in, some people are gonna be going out. I really don't know where you're going out to, because COVID is still out there and there's still restrictions everywhere. So if I was you, I'd just order some in, Netflix and chill it, eat some good food in, bring the gifts in the house, bun up, cuddle up. Still cold outside. It may snow again. So, hey, I got some movies for you to watch. Now, I'm going to go in chronological order based on what the timeline these movies came out. Give the leading characters. I ain't going to give you what the movie's about, because I don't want to spoil them. But this is Face's top 5 Valentine's Day movies. Coming out in 1974, that's Claudine. Claudine is starring James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. Banging movie. Had to throw it back old school. Now, coming up in 1997 is one of those 90s classics, Love Jones, starring Lorenz Tate and Nia Long.
That was
great movie. Great movie on that poetry vibe. Get your snaps in.
The rhythm in your left eye trying to become the funk in your right, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
There you go. Now, coming up in 2002, there was Brown Sugar. That was starring Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan. Now, good movie. Wrapped in hip hop culture with it. All around good. I like it.
Won't Queen Latifah in that? Won't Queen Latifah in that? Or was that a different? I thought so. Yeah.
She was in that one. And Mos Def.
Yes.
Oh, Mos Def. Oh, I knew it was either Mos Def or Common.
Y'all seen Bay?
He was a cab. He was in cab. He was the cab driver and shit. Now, 2020 gave you 2 good bangers. one on a low banger. The other one, I think a lot of people saw it, but they didn't really appreciate it like they should. They need to go back and watch it. The first one I'm gonna mention is that one I think everybody saw was The Photograph that starred with Keith Stanfield and Issa Rae. Great movie.
Banger, a sleeper too, because I didn't know about it. And then to
me, that's the Love Jones of 2020. You feel me?
I'm gonna check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
That's a good way to put that one. Yeah,
and I fought with Lakeith, so yeah, I ain't seen that joint yet. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Now, the last one on the Face Top 5 is Sylvie's Love. Now, I found this movie on Amazon Prime. Now, it was an on the low love romance movie, but oh my God, it's up there with Love Jones. It's up there with the classics. It's up there. It stars Tessa Thompson, and I'm sorry I can't pronounce this guy's name that well. Forgive me.
Nnamdi Asomugha.
There you go. My brother got you. Great movie. Check it out if you have Amazon Prime. I don't know what other platform it may be on, but it's Sylvie's Love. It came out in 2020. That's my topping off my top 5 Face Valentine's couples movies.
Yes.
If you're in the house and you got an online streaming platform to watch it on, pick one of those 5 bun up. If you're into the old school, please check out Claudine. It's a classic old school movie. If you don't know about it, ask your mama or your grandmama, depending on how old they are. They gonna know about it too.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm damn sure with you on Love Jones. Anybody that knows me personally knows that Love Jones is my, like, I'll be honest, it might be one of my top movies. It might be my favorite movie of all time. Like, I love that movie. That's one of the few movies I can watch back to back. And I'm a big comedy and action guy, so I don't even really get into dramas that much. But that's one that, like, that movie is everything to me. Like, it shows Black excellence, Black love. It shows, like, it just puts us in such a positive light. And it, like, really shows, like, all of the real ins and outs of what love looks like from the beginning stage, the honeymoon stage, the weird dynamics that we have when we have friend groups and stuff. Like, it just, man, if you have not seen Love Jones, man, something is wrong. Go see it today. And I like the way Face put it. That Photograph movie is like a Love Jones for our time. Like, it's right up there with it. That is a true banger.
Love Jones. Love Jones is like in that genre of Black 90s movies where it seemed like it was more, you were seeing more Black professionals in the movies or whatever. Like, it was Love Jones, Love at Basketball. I think that was more 2002. Shoot, even Sprung. That movie Sprung at Movie Ball. The black characters were still like professional characters, you know what I'm saying? Like they had corporate jobs. One dude was like a photographer or whatever. I just like that genre of like Black professional 90s movies for real.
That's real.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna also just throw in there Queen and Slim.
Definitely.
Definitely. That was crazy.
Yes,
that was crazy. That was that had old boy from Get Out, and he was on Black Panther too. The dark skinned dude.
Daniel Kaluuya.
The eyes like this. The dude. The dude like
he
this.
got him and Lakeith got another movie out about the Black Panthers. Judas and the Messiah. Something like Messiah. I'm gonna check that joint out too.
Before we go to, I gotta add to this list since we building a nice list for people to get into. My second favorite love movie for Black people is Jason's Lyric.
True.
I'm gonna tell you,
classic.
If you like after you've watched Love Jones and you done got your romance all built up, go straight to either the scene by the water or the scene when they in the pawn shop or whatever after night. Go to one of them two. I guarantee you and your significant other ain't making it through that. It's gonna be a whole lot of sheet rubbing and car. Yeah, it's gonna be some skin burning going on.
Hugging.
Yes.
Horizontal hugging.
I'm trying to tell you. Matter of fact, while we on it, baby, I love your poop face. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you, girl. I cannot wait to spend another Valentine's Day with you. 15 years strong, and we still kicking it. And I just appreciate you being my rib, my backbone, and yeah, we're gonna be making our own love movies that evening. Yes.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna send a shout out to my wife too. We can get rid of these kids this weekend. We can do our thing, celebrate our good old Valentine's Day the good way.
Yes,
Love you,
sir.
baby. I hope you hear me.
Send them babies to granny. Let her handle them, and y'all go ahead and get it in.
I like
Yes, indeed. We
Yes,
one in
sir.
one house, one in the other house. Oh yes.
Yes, sir.
yo.
Damn right.
Mhm.
Before I get my shout out, y'all listen to Tiz and Face because I've been single for the past 10 years, so they know what they talking about. They married now, and I don't know nothing about love. I'm an action junkie for real. I think Friday, Scarface, and Die Hard are love movies. So don't listen to me. But I
I'm
like
with
to
you on
get
the Friday. You lost me on the Scarface a little bit. But all right.
Love for power.
All right.
Scarface, love for power.
yeah.
Okay. Love
I
movie,
like
love for power.
I like to give a special shout out, special Valentine's Day shout out to. I'm single, y'all. To all my female friends, and especially the ones that. Nah, I can't say that out loud. That would be wrong. But yeah, I like to give a special shout out to y'all because y'all be making me feel all willy nilly inside. And special shout out to whoever I end up actually fornicating with this Valentine's Day weekend. Y'all, I appreciate that ahead of time. And I like to thank y'all. Just keep my mind straight and I can be focused for the next rest of the week, y'all.
Ladies, he's single, man.
Yes,
But
indeed.
if y'all want to go ahead, put y'all bids in, holler at him. If Umar can take wifey resumes, so can Pat. Go ahead, throw y'all name in the hat.
There you go.
See who cable bill can get paid. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And there you go.
Let's build a business together. Yeah, that's the kind of relationship talk I like to hear.
That's that
Yeah.
2020
There you
kind of
go.
love right there, boy. Yes, sir.
Let me
Make
stop
the money
talking.
work for y'all.
Let me stop
Indeed.
talking junk, yo.
Invest
Indeed.
together.
You said what?
Invest
Investing.
in
Oh,
together.
hell yeah. Last thing I want to, I guess, get into before we get up out of here, you know what I mean, and end this week's show is in keeping with just the thought of Black wealth. And if y'all have listened to us before, we are huge proponents of supporting Black business. I got a Black business that I want to just kind of give some love to. And if you are ever in the Douglasville, Georgia area or Atlanta area, check them out. They are completely Black owned. They're a dope boutique. They sell really great, really beautiful jewelry. A lot of it is like really handcrafted and detailed. They got beautiful clothes, especially for your ladies. So fellas, if y'all are looking for a place to go to kind of get that last minute gift for your wife or your significant other right before Valentine's Day hit, go to Be Beautifully True. That's the name of the store. It's also BeBeautifullyTrue.com for the website. They're at 6719 Strickland Street in Douglasville, Georgia. But dope boutique, all Black owned, beautiful products. And from time to time, you'll even see them having like a little small vendors market out front where they allow other vendors to kind of come in and sell their Black owned products. So if you're a Black business in the area and you're a small business and you're trying to just kind of get some exposure, get a place, holler at them for the vendor market. And if you just want to just support a real dope Black business that I personally can say is a good look, Be Beautifully True is the store. It's also the website, BeBeautifullyTrue.com. Go check out their products, show them some love, and continue to invest in us so that we can build our own wealth and continually grow our economic power in this country. That's what it really takes. And these are products that are quality and I can feel comfortable enough putting on our platform as far as saying they didn't ask me for this at all. This is just something that I personally feel like they're good. Go holler at them. BeBeautifullyTrue.com, spelled correctly. So if you don't know how to spell Be Beautifully True, get a dictionary, guys. We gotta be better than that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Since we putting out Black businesses or whatever, I wanted to shout out the Matriarch Gallery and Exalt Recordings LLC. I'm not there tonight recording because I have some maintenance that I need on my car at the shop now. But they've been letting me record at the studio on the podcast and everything. And if you wanted to get tatted up, the tattoo parlor is right in the front and the studio is right in the back. You can lace a track and then tat the song on your arm if you want to. Right on Hampton, North Mallory Street in Virginia.
And I'm big on ink. Me and Face inked up, so we definitely know tattoos, but I've checked out their work online and they got some dope artists there, man. So if you in the Hampton Roads area, man, and you're looking for some good ink, man, go holler at them. If you're an artist and you're trying to make music, go check them out, man. Like, they do good work, man. I'm not in on front, and I'm usually very critical of tattoo artists, but they doing their thing over there, man, for sure.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, guys, that's all I got for this week. As always, follow us on YouTube. Follow us on all streaming platforms. Podcast is coming out on time this week. We back on schedule for y'all. No skips, no nothing. Episode 12's full video will be out tomorrow on YouTube. Probably in the evening. I got a pretty hectic schedule tomorrow, so it'll probably be coming out in the evening. Also, be on the lookout at midnight, as always, for the podcast episode 13 to drop. Saturday, we still got our live show coming. You didn't ask us, but I'm really proud of what we're doing with that. And that's like our fun show. So if you're kind of feeling us and you like our moments where we just kind of riffing and ranting and just kind of talking to each other and just being our true authentic selves, and we're getting into the silly shit, that's a good place to come see the goofy shit, man. We have a ball. You can interact with us live in the chat. It's just a good time had, man. Like, every week it's growing and we're having more and more fun each week. So if you want to kind of just interact with us live outside of listening and watching us on a weekly basis, just follow us on YouTube or Facebook. It drops every Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Guys, what y'all got for them this week?
Once again, as usual, you can always go to teespring.com/stores/closet-1.
Indeed. And like he said, he about to update some stuff on the Face and Co store too. So be sure to check both of them out. If you can't remember all these links we'll be throwing at you, the easiest thing you can do, just go to our website, thepodnas.com. It literally has easy to click links. You can click on one store, you can click on the other, you can click on them both, and it takes you straight to the stores. You can see everything we got. And as always, man, Face be designing his ass off. Every time I look, he got some new idea that he's pushing on, some new thing that he's just created. So like, the inventory updates fast, and it's just a lot that you could choose from. So go support your boys, man. Get you some fresh gear, man.
And if you see a design and you like a specific color, or you have a suggestion for a specific color, hey, email us. Exactly. Leave a comment. I'll get to you. I'll get back at you. We can definitely converse, and I may definitely be able to help you out. So let me know something.
The Podnas Podcast at gmail.com for all inquiries on any new designs, or just if you need to reach out to us personally for booking or anything, whatever you need as far as like, hey, I got this idea for y'all. Shoot it to us in the email, man. Like, we holler back.
Definitely.
You can Google us everywhere, pretty much.
We're Googleable.
Mm-hmm.
And stay following us on all social media platforms, man. Pat B coming up with some wild ways to just promote our content, but follow us, man. It's literally something dropping regularly, daily, just to kind of give you other ways to interact with us. Holler at us in the chat, in the chats on live shows. Holler at us in the comments on every platform. Leave a message under our posts on IG,
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're on everything. As soon as I figure out this TikTok,
oh man, well, you go ahead with that TikTok. You're gonna definitely get started. I ain't messing with that. I'm not even going on there.
I'm scared of that too. I'm scared of that too.
I'm gonna leave that to y'all young folk, man. I'm too old. My brain just won't process it. It'd be too much to keep up with, man. But
my kneecaps hurt to be doing them dances.
We're based off of conversation, guys, and we're really looking to keep those conversations going. The purpose of our show is for us to have our conversations and then keep that dialogue going with you guys. So holler at us, interact with us in whatever way you feel comfortable. And if you do want to financially support, feel free to do so. We got our buymeacoffee.com. Feel free to go on there. We drop unedited videos, so you get to see the behind the scenes look at us flubbing, acting silly, the conversations we have before we actually start the shows. conversations we have in between edits that people on YouTube or that listen to us will never get to see. So go ahead over and sign up. Memberships are as low as $5. And you don't even, if you just want to support and just say, hey, I just believe in what y'all doing and I want to see y'all keep doing it, you can drop as low as $1. So buymeacoffee.com/the Podnas. Or you can always buy some of our merch. That helps keep us going as well. And then you actually get something that you can rep as well out in the streets to show that you're part of the Pod Squad. And if not, you can holler at us on Cash App. Get on your Cash App. $$ Tears is the Podnas Cash App. You drop something in the Cash App, we get to split it, man, and it just keeps us going and keeps us able to continue to make the time to do this and to continue to grow our product, continue to grow our brand, and just invest into all of the resources we need to make this continue and to get better, to make more content for you guys. As always, man, we love y'all. On 1/3 of the Podnas, your boy Tiz. We where the money reside.
The second one, the Padawan here. I told you I'm going to give y'all regular intros today.
I was waiting for the superhero yell or something.
Yeah. Kame. All right, it's the other third Padawan, man.
And you know, it's your boy facing the place and trying to stay on pace with this race, man.
Indeed, man. We love y'all. Thanks again to Uncle Curtis for being our first guest. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, if you are Umar supporter, you want to come on and have that intellectual debate and like maybe break down and inform us on some things we don't know about it, feel free to drop us a message on any of our social media or email us at thepodnaspodcast@gmail.com and let's set it up. If you have something that you feel really strongly about and you want to come on and you think that what you're doing fits in with what where our brand is, hit us up, man. We're open to guests. We're open to just having these conversations weekly in any ways possible and just growing us as a people. So we love y'all. As always, man, the pod is out. Shout out to the Pod Squatters, man. We are 122 on YouTube and downloads have been steadily growing each week on all of our podcast service. We just appreciate y'all. I love y'all.
We
out.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you.